noise you're hearing is my doggos who are chewing on water bottles. I was doing some other stuff today, so you're going to have to just bear with me while I get set up. Because, of course, I started without being prepared. It's what I do. Currently, it says there's no one watching. One person is watching. Hello, one person. Hello, brave, intrepid soul. Ooh, now there's John C. and Line Cook Thor and Stanley S. And Josh Newman. Hello. Gotta take this off of the tripod, put this onto the tripod. Probably should have done all this before I dragged you into this with me. But hey, if you all expected me to be prepared, that's because you didn't know that my wife wasn't here, which is the real story. Let's get your comments up so I can see what you're talking about. Okay, so happy Thursday. Hello, Line Cook Thor, John C., Stanley S., Josh Newman, Robert White, Larry Hughes, Rachel Powell, Michelle Schulte, Von Dyen, L. Copeland, Rachel Powell, Big Dog Masks, Warmonger, Poison Sumac, Misty Jazierski, Horror Beauty Effects, Line Cook Thor, Chad Smith, Scuba Steve, Ross Reichert, and Chad Smith. I don't know if I said Chad Smith. Al Mantra Art, HBK Styles, Raffy UK, all the way from UK, awesome. South Omaha Horror, Mike Murphy. All right. Whew. Boy, that was a lot of folks. Hi, everybody. I know I'm supposed to be off, but if I were good at being off, then if I were good at being off of work, then this whole pandemic would have gone differently for me. No, my wife's at work, so what am I going to do but work on stuff? House is no fun without the wife. So let me get this plugged in. I'll use this one over here. Hello, Skin and Bones. Where I'm at right now, my life is kind of meant to be shared. And my wife is the main person who I've shared stuff with. So I like having her around more than anything else, more than I like being alone. But anyway, here we go. Hello, Nathan Jones. I just emailed you. Finn Godwell. Hello. Here we go. All right, so I don't know if Larry is going to be on later or whatnot, but it's Cojo night. I got a big dog staring at me, and I gotta take care of this big old dog. If I don't, then there's gonna be trouble. Because I can't work on anything else until Cojo is finished, though. These are some horns that I almost just fed to my dog. These horns are for the white Krampus I painted yesterday, but I did something fun. Hey, Larry. I did something fun. That's right, you guys are here. I took the interior diameter of this, and I made knubs on it that just fit on pretty tight. And there you go. Once it's on a head, it'll fill out a little bit, and that's nowhere near even. But you guys can see that I now have horns that can attach on and unattach on. because this mask is going to the UK. So if I don't do this, then the shipping is going to be ridiculous. It's going all the way to England. So, and I had a box once that was like 2 foot by 2 foot by 5 foot, and I had to ship it. It was full of Krampus masks, and that was $800 shipping that to Germany. Luckily, it was a theme park, and they paid for it. So there you go. All right. Cojo. If I put the camera here, then when I read comments, I'm also looking at the camera, like an adult. Shipping is crazy right now. I hate it forever. Okay. What's up, Rue? I gotta bring a dog over here. I have so many options. But this time, I this a dog. And I have the fur, and so do not sweat this, the head right now, because this is not the color. I mean, obviously all this gets painted. So, yeah, I'm gonna grab myself a sculpting bust stand bust. Broke it. I know it does this. So yeah, so that's right. Yeah. It's like I'm playing an escape room just to put this thing together. Good morning, Rob O'Brien. Yes, I had to slide it. I had to figure out which way. I don't use the fancy new ones very often. Normally I use a terrible one that is, cobbled together, because that's the one I've had for years. You are on the big screen, Celeste. You are. So I'm just going to mount. Come on, Shani. I'm going to mount Cojo to this board. No, they don't all have a different saying. This was Stan playing around with the laser, and he wrote Monster Maker on this one, because he was playing around and trying to figure stuff out. And, we do a lot of learning here, so we have a lot of experiments. You know what's cool? If you get a drill, you should also get a battery for it. So now I have to leave the room again. No, that's right. It's going to say your face to me, and I don't get to say it to her. Terrible. How will I survive? Shani, come on. Robert Corey was over earlier. Damn it, Rob. Hey, Jones. Jones is here. He's wondering what's going on. It's chaos when the wife's not home. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Robert Corey was here earlier, and we got a bunch of stuff poured up. So there. Hello, Lisa and Enigma. Good to see you guys on. Foam, I should be able to just push this. firmly against your Cojo. Oh, you did? You bought a coordinator? That's awesome. All right, see, now I have Cojo mounted here, and I'll be able to work on it. Warmonger, you have to charge your batteries. Okay, I could have swore that I printed out some other eyes already for Cojo. I have a bigger size of cabochon, and I printed out a couple pages. I see one page right here. Oh, here's a couple pages. It's great. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know the notifications were on. I'm bad at this. I'm a terrible person. Wait a minute. I'm muted. My notifications are not on. So, there we go. Yeah, notifications are off. Has anyone heard a notification? Or was that a preemptive strike? Which I fully understand, a preemptive strike. Fully understand that. Okay, good. I don't want to be that guy. So we're doing another set of eyes here for Cojo. I got this golden color that I like. I'm gonna grab a little maca. I'm gonna put some detail in the iris though. Okay, where is my chair here gone? Enigma, I would say, you know, proficient. You're probably going to be proficient. You just won't be masterful at this point in time. But I bet you're proficient with wet clay even now, without having used it. You're a proficient sculptor in oil-based clay, and frankly, wet's just easier. Now this is photo paper. But I have noticed something that's a bit off. My wife, and I'm completely throwing her under the bus because she is the one who did this. The photo paper was loaded upside down. This is the nice glossy side, and we printed on the back. So I'll be reprinting these right now. I just wanted to give you guys a look inside of the process. All right, and I actually could put that sheet right back in. Yeah. Do we have to open up Photoshop? I don't think we do. We just have to get to... I swear, I know that watching someone use a computer who is over 40 years old is painful for many of you. I apologize. Well, you know how it is. Eyes. I really just want to search my computer. Yeah, so Microsoft My computer has, of course, Microsoft, and I don't like Microsoft Edge. I'm much more of a Chrome guy, so that's frustrating. I know I've made documents called eyes, and I have a bunch of them. I don't know, but let's give it a shot. Yeah, Enigma, just take your time. Clown shoes, excellent, Josh. No Shannon here tonight, Scott. She's at work. I'm glad you are back. I'm glad. Thank you for joining us again. It depends on what you want it for, big dog. If it's something that if you want to just spray it on, then bed liner spray is better. If it's something that you want to take the time to paint it on, I don't like to thin liquid nails. I don't think it dries evenly when you do that. It cures with hard spots and soft spots. So I don't necessarily like that. Chad, I don't have a wolf leg out of the mold yet. It has been nothing but rainy here for days. So, like, I know I made these eyes. Okay, here's what we'll do. We're going to go to Photoshop. Yes, Cojo, the horror dog. Yes, we have the start of Cojo over here. You can see his head. We're going to add all the rest of the fur. Cojo is going to be done tonight. Like, we're finishing Cojo tonight. By hook or by crook, I will. Almost like a taxidermy. It's a fake head, David. I make masks and costumes. And I make a squeaky tripod, like an old horror movie. Yeah, sorry about that. It's coming. It's coming. It's the tripod. Yes, it's a very squeaky tripod. Sorry. Let's see. I have opened these up. And now I know that I'm not going to backlight these eyes, so I can just flip this paper over and print on this side. If I can figure out my wife's printer. Okay, all the fans are in here because I'm drying a bunch of molds. Let's turn those off. And I don't know, I think, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put one in this side up and one in this side up. And I'm going to print them both. I'm just going to print 2 sheets, and one of them is going to be right. Okay. Okay, this printer is asking me questions, and I'm not good with this. I'm going to print photo. Nope, we're going to the computer. We'll do it all from the computer now. Thanks, Alex. It's just the other room. It's just cleaner. I did. I managed to find File Explorer. just there's a little search bar down here that used to be searching your computer, and now it searches Microsoft Edge. Makes me angry because I'm old. Two things. I got $50 off for your birthday. Went back to Lowe's. Got a big skeleton and a small one. Excellent. I got it from Home Depot. I just got the Loctite from Home Depot. But you can use liquid nails. I mean, liquid nails is fine. I saw liquid nails. Just make sure that whatever liquid nail you're getting is good for outdoor. Any of those construction adhesives are fine. Just make sure they're good for outdoor. Almost anything will work. Oh, you know what? There is a can of WD-40. Let's oil up the tripod. That sounds a little adult, you have to admit. So I'm not going to say that anymore. Yeah, when you meet like a new dude, ladies out there, and like you go to their house for the first time, this is important. You have like, when you get to the threshold, you say, before I go in, show me a can of WD-40 and show me a roll of duct tape. And if they can't like just go produce those two things, you shouldn't be going in their house. And you should not be investing any time in this person. Unless they're like super rich, in which case they will pay someone who has WD-40 and a roll of duct tape. Like, it's not my job to give dating advice, but you know, you're here, you're gonna have to listen to me. I did just shoot this right into one of the ports of my phone, so maybe you should listen to me. Oh, look it, listen. Oh, we greased it. Okay, sorry. I get excited. Okay. Awesome reptile cosplays. I'm glad you're working on your haunt. Excellent. My knees also sound like that tripod. Well, you know what? She just wants to make sure that you have it is all, David. You got to make sure you have it. Thank you. I like this shirt too. It says, I'd rather be making monsters. That's a loop tool for sculpting and a paintbrush. And you can get it from my Teespring, which normally there's someone to help me and they will post a link. But if not, on my YouTube channel, you can find merch. And it's on my Teespring in lots of colors. Wood machete, awesome. If you brought your own, then that might be an issue. But at your domicile, you should have WD-40 and duct tape. No, man, that person's a winner, Chad. Warmonger, that does appear creepy. Also, yes, sure, know how to do it yourself. I'm just saying that when you go there, you know, once you're at that point, you should make sure that they have it too, whether you've got it or not. A lot of people do. They put WD-40 on their skin, which I think is not good. There was a movie that was My Big Fat Greek Wedding where someone put Windex on everything. Yeah, same people. So let's print this. I want to print. I want to print 2 copies. Because one of them is going to be right. What's funny is I had those in my hand, and I didn't even realize that it was printed on the non-glossy side. What are you doing? No, I actually just started, and honestly, I haven't done a single thing yet. I impaled Cojo's head on a board so that I can work on it later. That's all I've done. You missed nothing. You can fix duct tape with duct tape. I do not water down the liquid nails at all. I just put it on there. Enigma, it's a feel. You have to like look at the clay and touch it and see how dry it is. The thinner you go, the faster it's going to dry out. Horror Beauty, I just did a video, and it depends on what I'm doing. Sometimes I just brush it on. Like on these horns over here, I actually brushed it on really thick. These horns. I brushed it on really thick, and then I just used my fingers to shape it because I wanted that like spiral pattern in them. But that's all just liquid nails. And it's almost dry. Like it has a little bit of squish in the thick spots. Yeah. But anyway. Yeah, brush it on, spread it around. You can use a brush. You can also use like a spreader, like a plastic trowel. I use that too. Sometimes I'll do bricks on walls, and I'll spread out the WD-40. Not WD-40. I'll spread out the liquid nails on the wall, and then I'll take my finger and do the rock outlines like the mortar, and that works really well. Same stuff. WD-40 it's an oil. It's a lubricant. It's a lubrication thing. It's a spray can of lubricant. Oh no, Ezekiel, take care of your shoulder. Celeste, you should finish it. Here's the deal I'll make with you, okay? Anytime that I am working on my projects and you're watching my videos, you should work on your paper mache dragon head. At this point, I'm really hoping that it's the paper that was the other way that was right, because it ate this one. Yes, you may talk about me. You can talk about me while I'm in the room. Ezekiel, I have no idea if inox is similar to WD-40. try and print one more of those. Okay, so you guys are playing like spot the thing. What are the two triangular things on the ceiling by the fan on the wall? Okay, so those are mask sculpting stands, like for when you're sculpting. I actually just pulled one of these off the wall a second ago to put Cojo on. This is for sculpting. You put your face here and you sculpt on it. Okay? Once more with feeling. This has got to be right. Okay. I don't know why I'm showing you guys your own comments. A little weird. Hello, RS18. I'm glad you joined us. So let's see. What's that blue-purple rose there? It's just, you know what? It's just a blue-purple rose. It's a polymer clay rose that I believe my wife was given way back when we were at Scarborough Fair. Are mold straps specialty items? You can't normally get them at the hardware store. You get them at Reynolds or Biddy Mold Supply or Amazon. I find it's cheapest for me to get them at Amazon. Wow, 5 rotator cuff surgeries. Okay. I'd rather be shimmying. It is you, Skin and Bones. It's a me, Skin and Bones. Oh, why isn't this freaking? Oh goodness. You know what? I think we're gonna go with the Cojo eyes that they have. That's what we're gonna do. Try again. Ah! That's it. That was my last try. Cojo That is some power telling me that Cojo's eyes are good. They're saying, I'd rather be shimmying. There you go. There's your shimmy. I don't think we're far from 3D printing rotator cuffs. I bet it's quite possible. All right, but anyway, what I have done here is I have cut out the eyes. So there is a scanner on top of the printer. Grab myself a razor blade. All right, yeah, so tonight's a little slightly different paced because I'm going to work on one project, like all the way to completion. Into your souls, you have more than one? Rob, the paper will not feed. The paper will not feed into the printer. So it's not going to print anything no matter how I get it into the printer. I do need a refill on the QT soda. You're not wrong. Yeah, we're going to blood the snot out of Cojo. That's for sure. Yeah, the issue is that the paper is jamming. Lemon Lime the Wolf. Hello, Lemon Lime the Wolf. Okay, we're going to close this. We're going to close this. We're going to go to our Cojo folder on the front. Here we go. Reference. I'm telling you guys. This is what I do for a living. I'm a professional. And I look at reference all the time. All the time. Good night, big dog. Okay. That's what I wanted. I don't really think I need a bigger size eye, but I needed to see my eye a little better. I'm going to get that by trimming this out a bit. Yeah, that'll do it. See how much more of the eye you see? I think that's what we need. Okay, let's get some material cut for the ears. Let's get those covered. What I'm looking at here is in my reference, what I'm trying to see is I'm looking for hair length. This hair under here is much longer than the hair on the face. The hair on the face is about the same length as the hair on the ears. The hair on the forehead is about the same length as the hair on the face and the hair on the ears. But there's this whole ruff under here, and all of this is much longer fur. So that'll be the next piece that I put in. Cat, I don't want anybody else try and help me with the printer. You guys are so far away, and it's not feeding paper. I have put the paper in the tray. That printer is temperamental, and I'm just tired of messing with it. So that's not going to happen. I appreciate everyone trying to help, but the printer's possessed. There's nothing we can do. I'm going to call a young priest and an old priest. That's how I will fix the printer. But anyway, so I'm checking out this guy and, you know, how he looks. I did change that muzzle last time because normally you can't see any of his top teeth. It's very hard because of that so many lips. Yeah, and throw it off the roof. I agree with cobwebs. In this scenario, I agree with cobwebs. I don't always say that, mind you. Yeah, you know what? I actually don't think I want bigger eyes in this anyway, looking at my reference. A little bit of darkening around here on the muzzle. I'm looking at color right now too, but most importantly what I need to look at is hair length. This is not a mask. This is a bust, a display bust, so I'm not worried about it. Yes, I do believe in paranormal stuff. Now, do I believe in all paranormal stuff? No. But I do like to pick and choose the paranormal stuff that I believe in. All right, so this fur has a direction. Get this off of here. Yeah, we normally get a thumbs down. It happens. This hair's direction is down this way. So I wanted to go on to this ear this way. Most of the time, I don't always ignore the trolls. I think trolls have the right to speak. Yeah, I think when Shannon is reading comments, she just ignores the trolls, and I don't know. I'm a messer with her. All right, so we want the hair to face down, so that's going to be this direction as it looks this way. So that means here. Hey, Stacy. Cool that you were doing a podcast interview. That's awesome. And yet, no excuse for tardiness. What the heck? Okay, anything extra on this ear, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold underneath anyway. No, I don't think you are a troll. Someone probably gave a thumbs down on the video, and that person is normally called a troll. The only way to fight a troll is to give the video a thumbs up. It's how we win, kids. It's how we win. But as the videos go out to lots of people, what happens is that this has to go this way. It's the other ear. What happens is that the YouTube algorithm pushes it out to more and more people. So there's going to be some people who are not as interested as YouTube thinks they are in my vidya, so they will give it a thumbs down after watching a few moments of it. Or they just saw me yell at a printer. Maybe they work for the brother printer company. You never know. Everyone has a story, including internet trolls. It's probably the fires causing your disturbance. I'm not having any issues, but I'm in Texas. But I also don't use Roku and I don't use Sling. So there you go. So not much help to you. Hello, Ella's Fire. It's good to see you on. I hope things are happy with you. What is this fur called? Yes, I remember what this fur is called. This fur is called truck stop blanket. This was literally a blanket that was purchased at a truck stop. Sometimes a finished good with fur is cheaper than the actual fur. This is a very old blade. I've used it on EVA foam. I use it on fur. But if it's a little dog chewed up, I don't mind. These edges are getting folded over. So I'm not, you know what? I'll switch the blade out. It's bad for me to show people irresponsibleness in my blade use. Because you should not cut with a dull blade, because it can cause problems down the road. And all I had to do was flip it around so a new corner is exposed. Michelle, I'm very glad. I'm glad you're enjoying the cages. I think that they look good. I think that all the ones I've seen people do are excellent, and that project seems to have taken off quite a bit. That was from one person's request. They're like, hey, can you show me how to make this? And I said, show. And I did. And then lots of people wanted that. So this particular monster is, he's going to be real grimy and gross. So what you do is you just paint the fur again white once your glue shows through. Contact cement is one of those where it'll do it, but if you spray on your contact cement pretty light, then it shouldn't show through. But if you saturate it with a brush, then it's going to show through. On this, I'm going to use spray adhesive because of how this is attached and what it's attached to, and I'm not worried about body heat. That was an old blade. Yeah, Cojo has the gambit of textures on him in his fur, so it's not something I worry about the adhesive showing. That'll be a bonus. Two. Kat, did you make a small one out of a 5-gallon bucket? That's what I made my very first prototype with, was a 5-gallon bucket. And as I fold this underneath, really get a lot more body into that. There we go. That's a dog ear. Look at that. Woof, woof, woof. Okay, fold under, fold under, fold under, fold under. All right, there we go. I have 2 ears on. That's right. Aha! Yeah, using what you have is also good. Kathy, Lacey, yes, I have made plenty of ghosts. And if you watch my YouTube channel next week, I have a ghost project coming up, which I think you guys will enjoy. I don't know if it's going to be YouTube Wednesday or a bonus video, but it will definitely be a video. Your spaniel snout on them, but yes, that is correct. And I'm going to grab something out of the other room. You guys stare at Cojo. Be right back. Oh, the Sandlot dog. I love him. Hercules, Hercules, yes. Very cool, Michelle, very cool. Here we are. All right. What did I have to go and get? You'll have to guess. I will give you no clues. David, I'm afraid that this year Dark Hour will not open in a normal capacity. We'll be doing backstage tours. I did not have a chance to watch a Godzilla marathon. I do love me some Godzilla. He makes me very happy. We do not televise backstage tours. People pay to go on them. So if I then just videoed all of it and gave it out, I feel like I would be taking something away from the people who paid. We're all just coming in this room now. That's how it's happening. We're all in here. By golly, I think this is enough. This is a scrap of white fur that I have. This is a whole new roll, which if I needed it, I would use this. But I think that this is going to work. I know I bought this bright green fur for a reason, but I forget what that was. I don't know if I did it or not. It's my life. Who knows? So, on this side, we have a lot of the EVA foam stuff that we make apocalypse helmets out of. That's what all of this is, all organized, well, semi-organized. That's all EVA stuff. And up there you can see some of the EVA dwarf boots, as Ezekiel is in love with, and a lot of helmets ready to be turned into either masks or apocalypse masks. Maybe it was for grouches. I don't know. Here is just it's a passel of masks. How many exactly is in a passel? I don't know. That's a stupid printer. You probably can't read that message. It says it's a paper jam. I'm just going to leave it. Let wife handle it. Gordinator is right here. Gordinator has his eyes in. There you go. The Jack Frost, I did a video on that earlier. I had him in here drying. He's all dried up now. So Jack Frost is going to be ready to go. See, he's got an ice beard and brows. There you go. Next time Cobwebs orders something, I'm going to sprinkle the inside of this box with glitter. He'll love that. Be a good surprise for him. For anyone who doesn't know, Cobwebs is a fellow haunter who hates glitter. You know what? Glitter has a time and a place. It might have been the Grinches, the Grouches. You do see Beastman fur, Chad. You do see Beastman fur. I will be working on a Beastman here pretty soon. I haven't done any costuming content in a while, so I think I'm doing something costuming for YouTube Wednesday, but I'll probably have an additional video out for ghost stuff, like I mentioned. All right. Looking at this, all of my dogs, underneath, they have two like rivulets, and I see it on him too. Just two waddles of fur. And I'm going to take that down a little bit, probably to the bottom of this base. You know, so that will kind of extend the size of the head and make it a little bigger. And I might do a little bit of that. Yeah, I'll do that fur up here too. So I'm going to mentally kind of figure out what that shape is going to be. It's a Y. Yeah, that shape is a Y. And boy, this is just the luckiest piece of fur, because this is like the perfect width. I'm not even going to change the width on it. I do need to go this high up with it. and then come down this much. Okay, I think my pop out has stopped. Yep, this is dead. Okay, all right. Yeah, so nobody tell them. Yes, glitter has a place, just not Halloween. You know what? Some things in Halloween can use glitter. Not everything, but some things. I don't think it's against the law. Skin and bones will what be very heavy? I do not think that Cojo will be very heavy at all. One day I will punch that printer, I'm sure. Thank you. Glad you like the pumpkin mask. Awesome. I'm glad you do a creepy Christmas. Yes, always glitter the guys who say they shouldn't be here. Yeah. Yeah, don't help. Well, you know what? It's being pushed out. So the video is being pushed out, and they probably showed up, and it's an empty screen. I'm working on my printer. This isn't great television tonight. I'm going to be honest with you. Sure, but let's work on this. Yeah, and YouTube pushes this out for more and more people. All the time, but it's not for everybody. Okay. I'm making a pattern here for Cojo. And now this piece of fur will go up under here, and then I'll cut a separate piece that goes right here. You know what? Don't be too upset at the trolls. I'm sure that they were just minding their own business, and then YouTube suggested them this video, and YouTube was wrong. That's okay. I just cut the heck out of myself on that by moving this hand this way and that hand that way. A little bit of blood on Cojo. All right. Yeah, glad I put a new blade on there. Ooh, I like goblins. I would like to see your goblin. This is gonna suck. 99% alcohol. That's the good stuff. Yeah. You can feel the tingle means it's working. All right. Now that I know that's clean. We will come over here. Get out the first aid kit. I think it always helps to use the share button. And I should probably ask you guys to share more often, but I'm terrible at this. I don't ask y'all to do much at all. Yeah, I'm bleeding everywhere. This is awesome. This is why I need my wife's supervision. I'm watching the camera. Now my thumb has a butt crack. It's the other thumb, but you get the idea. I'm going to hold it, I don't know, 10, 15 seconds. Have a Band-Aid unwrapped. Giving it some pressure. Have a first aid kit, guys. Truly. I know that accidents happen. I use a razor blade every single day. I don't cut myself very often, but it can happen, especially with these super sharp blades. So, be careful, gang. So that I'm now bandaged. I'm going to put on one more Band-Aid. I prefer fabric Band-Aids. I just think they hold up better. And this I do have under a good bit of pressure because I'm just kind of keeping my thumb squeezed back together. That's right. You gotta let the contact cement dry. And what I normally do when I have a cut finger is I give myself a little cap of electrical tape. Okay, just a little cap over top of electrical tape. What you don't want to do is you don't want to cut off any circulation. So when I wrap my finger up, exactly, Celeste, you understand me. No, I've never used real blood for a mask. That's kind of gross. David, are you subscribed to the channel, or are you like 100% new here? I hate to say this, I don't recognize your name, but also I'm not normally the one reading the comments, so I necessarily wouldn't. So now I have a good bit of tape, and I just wrap it around. I'm not keeping it tight at all, but I want that nice little plastic cap that I'm going to get from the electrical tape. And I know that this blade works well, so I can just use it to cut the E-tape. Okay, very good, David, the woman who normally reads the comments. I'm the new guy. Yeah, that's my wife. And sometimes it's Stacy, who is not my wife. This is where you watch me like cut the tape and slash my face at the same time. Awesome. Have a good one, Ezekiel. Okay. That is blood. I'm going to hit that with some alcohol also. Where did I put my alcohol? Blame it on the alcohol. Aha, there it is. Just as good, I have alcohol sanitizer spray. I'm going to just spot treat that. Okay. Latex paint is actually coming soon. You guys are hopping on this chat. I bled for you. No, you guys are hopping on this chat. I'm going to miss some, and I'm sorry. Well, Celeste, as long as it's sanitary trace evidence, that's fine. In all honesty, this whole thing is going to be so bloodied up that that's not a big deal at all. When you are cutting fur, you want to only cut the backing. That's why I use a razor blade from the back. If I used scissors, then I would end up cutting the fibers. And I want that. I want this overhang right there to hide all my seams. So what's funny is when I ran my hand through a table saw, because I ran this hand through a table saw, I actually got chunks of the saw in my hand because of how the cut happened and what I did. Okay, you go over there. Yeah, this sure is a fresh blade. It's nice and sharp. No, it's not a bad cut at all. Maybe well, it's well through the pad of the thumb. But yeah, I kept all my fingers too. That's the happy part. And the doctor was calling other people in, and he's got my hand spread open, and he's got a magnifying thing, and he's picking out little pieces of metal, and he called a bunch of people into the room. He called a bunch of folks into the room, and he's like, "Come look at this! Look at this guy's hand," because there were chunks of the saw in my hand. They were not pulling chunks of the hand out of the saw. All right, this is where I need to get those two rivulets. Right now, this is a little moist, but I think that I think this will still work. There is, but it's sanitary. I mean, it's been alcoholed to oblivion, but I'll fix it. Super glue. Yeah, you guys don't have to see dry blood. That's weird. Yep, that's still alcohol. It's a gooder. Okay. Now, on the next episode of Bleeding with Alan, okay, there we go. They didn't use a magnet, John. They just kind of picked them out with tweezers. Again, this project, I don't really mind the adhesive sort of showing, just the nature of this particular one. I just cut my thumb, that's all, and then they noticed a lot of blood on my hand, so I cleaned it off. That's all. I cut it with this, straight down the middle of the thumb, razor blade. It's a good one. That's right. Donating blood to Halloween. It's Cojo. It's going to be some blood somewhere. Like, if I was really doing, if it was like, Alan, you have to make a Cojo head and unlimited budget, I would actually, for the mount on the wall to mount his head to, I would use a door from the car in the movie. Like, and I think it was I forget what kind of car it was, but it was a yellow Ford, I think. Little yellow Ford Pinto runabout, something like that. But the notifications are off. I think that's a different kind of notification. No, sound is back on. Somehow I turned the sound on. Mute. Okay, sorry about that. Done. I think before when you asked me, I hit it, and I hit a button called temporary mute, and maybe it just went up. It was a it was Pinto, I think. Ford Pinto runabout, something like that. It is that for that mask, the Jack Frost mask, it is caulking, silicone caulking. And what I'm doing right now is I'm putting those two little wattles in, I guess you call them. I don't know what you call them, but they're little folds of skin that the dogs have under there by their throats. I'm just going to put those in and let them run all the way down. In all honesty, I did have it silenced, and then I think messing with it caused the problem. So, see how quickly I can just blame you for something that I did? It's a gift. My apologies to your doggos. Yeah, see, now I've got those two little throat runner things right there. Should make an automation. If you wish to make one, you should make one. And now for this seam here, I'm going to hit that with some spray. And then I'll fold that hair up and just get it all looking right. That's going to be nice. Okay. Good. And now I can pull this hair up here, and that seam goes away, especially when I paint all this. I've made some dog heads before. I haven't necessarily made a dog mask before, but I've made a lot of dog heads. Hello, Lindy Beto. Well, I think that I had a very popular video this week, and what happened is that YouTube is now sending I'm out there in the algorithm a little more, and I'm a pretty niche, like what I do, it's pretty niche, you know? So I think that there's just people who don't enjoy what I do that much, and that's okay. And I'm just doing this by eye because I'm piecing in this fur to where it needs to go, or at least to where I think it needs to go. That's going to go up in here, and this. I also gave it a weird title tonight, Cojo no Youjo. So people don't know what it is from the title. Therefore, they might click on it to see what it is, and then they won't enjoy it. So, my fault. If anyone is new, hi everybody. Hope things are going well for you. Hope you're enjoying this particular flavor of Apocalypse. Uh, 1980, no, I'm not going to do any bikini try-ons. You're welcome. Okay. Steve Bishop, I think that's actually a great plan to do those like that. So the next thing that I'm going to do might seem a little weird. I'm going to paint the eyes I've got in there with latex. I'm just grabbing an acid brush, and once I get that acid brush, I'm about to use a lot of stuff on this Cojo. This is going to be this is going to be just a display, David. It's just a display. Yeah, I'm masking off these eyes with latex. This will dry, and then I'll be able to peel it off later. But it's going to keep the paint and glue and stuff that I'm about to use from getting on the eyeballs. And then I can just peel it off. I mean, I could tape them off, but, you know, I have latex around. All right. The best way to clean the nozzle as soon as you're done using it, hold it upside down and spray it a little bit. And that should keep the nozzle pretty clear, in all honesty. If you have to really clean it, then I would use acetone. Yes, currently it looks like he has some cataractos. I'm checking reference. And this flap goes over this flap, just like that. Our Cojo is now hair. Okay. So Cojo now is covered in hair. He's got fur all over him where he's supposed to have fur. We're going to now paint this. Glass. The eyes are actually glass, Gina. Yeah, I've already got lids sculpted on with clay, actually. So yes, I have done that, and that does work. But in this case, I've already got what I want. I got what I want. Going to kind of get this all the same tone. I don't want to keep this hair loose. This is Cojo, so he's going to be covered in gore and snot and all that stuff. The fur is, it's actually from a company called Monterey Mills, but they do sell it at Joann's. It's not any kind of special fur from a special distributor. So, Enigma. Clay gets as hard as a overcooked cookie, like a hard cookie. Like that reentry shield that cookies can get, that's how hard wed can get as it dries out. You don't want to let it get that hard, but I mean, it's just a varying degree. Chad Smith. If it's not, if the mask is getting hit by direct sunlight, or if direct sunlight is coming in through a window, it's going to rot out in a couple years. But if it's in the dark, or if it's in, regular house lighting and no actual sun hits it, it's not by a window, then 15, 20 years, no problem. Most of my sodas have paint aftertastes. So that just happens. That's how my life goes. I want this to dry up a little. While that is drying up, I think we're going to paint all of the fur first, and then we'll go in and we'll paint the mouth, and we're going to re-black the nose. I have to kind of wait for this to dry just a little bit, and I will use my hand here to move that around. What's got our heat gun? No, you cannot coat latex with anything to protect it against UV. It's just going to die eventually. You can put a UV-resistant polyurethane on it, but it's not going to do much long term because there's also stuff in the polyurethane that eats the latex. So it's going to rot eventually. That's good. Dog police? Hello, David Carter. Good to see you on again. I feel like it's been a while. That may not be accurate, but I feel like it's been a while since I've seen you on. Maybe my wife has seen you on and I have not. Okay, we have a doggo here. going to hit that one more time with white to get my whites a little whiter. I'm going to ruin that later, but right now I want to preserve that. And you may have noticed that I had a lot of sputtering on that can. That was the tip I pulled the nub out of. So this should go on a lot faster and smoother with less spurting and such. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I do have a video where I have a garbage dog, a big old garbage dog head. Yeah, I think the change is pretty good. I like the going from long hair to short hair. I think that works. It's going to be airbrushing time. Steve Bishop, I think that was a lot of people's like first video of mine that they saw was that dog monster thing. It's a Q-Sith, C-U-S-I-T-H. You know what? You never know. That's why I'm like, you know, don't be mad on the guys who do the thumbs down. If they honestly don't like it, then they need to let YouTube know that they don't like it so that they don't get any more of it, you know? They're trying to fix the algorithm for them. Right now it looks like a luck dragon. Let's murder it. No, I'm just kidding. I kid. Falcor! I'm a luck dragon. You know, if I worked that hard to get a dragon and like Falcor was sent to me, I'd be like low-key pissed because I want like a scaly horned dragon. You know, I want something angry. Not a furry, fluffy, cloudy look dragon. Dumb. What a monster. But I digress. Okay. So I have too high of a thing there. I have a werewolf coming down the pipe, so. There. Now I put my reference back up. Oh, that's awesome, Celeste. I believe I've also seen the same meme. Corpsing a wig head skull. Fun. Okay, so I think that what we're going to do is we're going to go in with brown first and just lay out where the brown goes. And if I screw this up, what happens is I just paint it white again. So it's a pretty low pressure scenario, guys. And I'm going to get the brown and white on this, basically. You know, I actually have a little bit of black in here. I'm going to go ahead and hit the nose and stuff. I'm also going to get my glasses so I can see what I'm doing a little better. I'm going to try and find some glasses. Anyone new to the stream? Yes. What you do half the time is watch me walk around looking for the thing I had in my hand 5 minutes ago. Completely true. I don't really have any monsters. I have a website, huntmonsters.com. That's the website for the Monster Museum. Oh, Bump of the Night, that's awesome. I actually love that compressor. We're going to hit the fur around the eyes with this, black, and we're going to hit the nose that needs to be black. We're going to mist a little bit of black around here, and we're going to hit this whole bottom lip fur. Boy, that just changes a bunch, doesn't it? It's amazing how much work a little bit of paint will do. Enigma, I would kind of want to work on a sketch that what you were looking for, you know. But I mean, that's actually kind of a difficult task. I know it sounds pretty simple, but changing body mechanics is something that I try to do quite a bit, and it's a little harder than you might think. Well, yeah, the Monster Museum site was made a while ago, so we haven't done a lot of updating to it. All right, so that's all the black that I need for now, and I can hit that again. Looks a little weird with just that. Now, I might go back with black later because on the stuntman suit, there's a line of black that comes right in here, which I think looks really nice. So we're going to see how this shapes up over time, and we'll determine if we need that or not. Grab a couple little cups. I got to put another color in behind that black, so let's blast that black out of there. Just going to go over here and grab the Burrow Brown. Thank you, Spook Shack. Thank you. Yeah, and this was the bear sculpture. So, you know what? A lot of credit and kudos goes to Larry, who had the eye to say, you know what? That'd make a nice Cojo. So that's all Larry. But again, I mean, it's not just me here, man. I work with a bunch of great artists who can see stuff like that. And this brown comes out from the corner of the eye, goes right there, and all of this is brown, and it comes right about there, and all that brown over here. Yes, it's going to look a bit like Cheney for a while. That's very true. Okay, so when you say, Paul Bennett, when you say airbrushing a human face, do you mean you are airbrushing a prop to look like a human, or you are doing airbrush makeup? Please tell me that, and I'll give you an answer. Correct. The pictures of Gary Morgan in the suit. That is what will also alter this a little bit. But the brown is kind of contained up here on the face. It's the same over here. It hits on the corner here. It comes right down. And then this goes straight up. And I think this is like the perfect color brown. I'm just doing it on a round plaque because I have to be able to afford to ship it to Larry. And I did not actually charge Larry for the mount because it was in a later thing that I said, hey, do you want this mounted on a plaque? But that's on me. So I will, but I have a wooden plaque I'm going to mount it on. I don't want to paint it on that because I want to leave that as clean as I can keep it. Then in that case, Paul, you don't want to go over 40 psi, 40 psi or less. And I use European Body Art Endura makeup. European Body Art Endura is the type that I use. It's a good makeup. I do still make the Khajiit masks. Thank you for asking. I just turned one into a bunny the other day. That was my Khajiit sculpt. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you, Horror Beauty. David, I'm answering questions for someone on the feed who is doing airbrush makeup. So I get asked questions sometimes about things that I'm not doing. And I know that gets a little confusing. I'm sorry. All right, so that is really it as far as the brown on this. I am going to go in and hit a little more black. I want to make his eyes a little more sad with the black. But that's working well. I think it's time to sit down and start doing some color in the mouth with actual paints. And then once I get that, I'm going to seal the whole thing. And then I smoosh up the fur. And then I'm going to smoosh up the fur and blood the snot out of it, as we say. No, I don't make a lot of things that are not scary. That is not my wheelhouse, per se. I'm going to actually put a little bit of brown in this black muzzle, but just a little. I don't want this muzzle part to feel alien, so I'm just kind of tying it together with just a hint of brown in there. Okay. Super. We make a lot of stuff here, Michelle. We do. I find the Pro Air just clogged a little too easy for me. I had a hard time, it clogged up our guns a little more than the Endura does. A significant amount, actually. Uh, 1980 on my reference. Right here's my reference. I do not have any darker brown around the eyes. I do have that area of black around the eye that I already have included, but there's not a darker brown around the eye on this. So, but there's different dogs, and the dogs were airbrushed, and the paint on the stunt suit looks completely different, but I like it. So, look at the stunt suit head here in this image. See all of this black that's happening? This is black. And this black comes all the way down into here. So maybe I'll do that later. And this one doesn't have the black around the muzzle. It's just got the white around the muzzle. So it's different dogs, different paint ups. I mean, these are very different. You know, so we're gonna find a good mix. We're going to find a good mix. We're going to make it look good. Wait, is that my Justin? That's got to be my Justin on there right now because it's Joston. No one spells their name that way. And it would have been good as Carl's Playhouse. You're absolutely right. Good to see you, buddy. How'd you weather the hurricane? You guys do all right down there? Have you gone back yet? I'm just grabbing some paint right now. I guess I'll point this way so you can see. I'm grabbing some paint so I can paint some piece. Good night, Misty. Well, that's very good news, Justin. I hope it didn't hit anybody else. That's how you know a stormtrooper was controlling where the hurricane went. He didn't hit nothing. God gave rock and roll to you, gave rock and roll to you, put it in the soul of everyone. All right. Yeah, you know what? That song has been in my head since I started seeing the Bill and Ted pictures. Yeah, it looks like a big old St. Bernard. We got that much right. Yes, for some scenes there was an actor, for some scenes there was a puppet, and 6 different dogs. So, and I don't have any good images of the mouth. Now I've got to hop on the internet and get myself another St. Bernard bark. And I want images because I want to see inside of their mouth. This is exactly what I want right here. Pretty pale gums. Well, I didn't want a YouTube video. I do like me some hair metal. And my wife completely ruined my image posting me singing Skid Row to Bella the other day. Completely ruined my image. Trying to open this image a little. Yeah, there we go. It's just pink. So inside of the mouth is super, super pink. They had a great day in the St. Bernard costume. That's probably the one that I saw them airbrushing. Well, yeah, right now I'm pretty far away. I'm 5 feet away. But it's a big boy. It's a bigger boy. You a bigger boy. All right. So let's make us some paint. It is my favorite crayon. As pink as the sheets that we're in. How much do I usually have on hand? So I normally keep about 3 to 4 buckets, so 15 to 20 gallons on hand. I used to buy it by the drum, but I just don't use quite as much anymore as I used to. So I don't normally keep it by the drum anymore. And normally I will get it from, there's a bunch of places I might get it from. I get it from Biddy Mold Supply, because they're kind of near me. I get it from Black Lagoon Supply Company. They're in Florida, but it's just it's a great product. It's a thicker product, so there's some masks I don't like it for because it won't go down into needly teeth as easy. But yeah, this is a pretty pale pink. Well, it's not a mask, so I can't really try it on. Well, the dog that I made out of boxes, his head was a big square-headed, like Saint Bernard style head. It's actually a little, the ears were a little more Saint Bernard, but the head itself was a little more pit. But that was from the mythology, the Ku Sith, which is a green sort of fey hound. I don't want to get any of this on the I don't want to get it on the lips because the lips are black. And since they're already black, I don't want to mess with it too much. It's one of those paint jobs, you just have to trust me. Unless you look up in the mouth, you're never going to see it. Hey, buddy. This is Cheney. He's my life model. Hey, bud. Cojo doesn't really have a certain collar. I was looking, and it wasn't there. So I did make a dog tag for the plaque. We did it on the laser, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. Amazingly pink inside of this mouth. Now that's going to change a little bit as we add blood and stuff. But right now, very pink interior. Yeah, my counter is my palette. It's just faster that way. Okay, so the giant bottom jaw is from an old animatronic, and that's going to be a, I'm going to fix it up, okay? It's a restoration piece. It'll be like a animatronic restoration type video. Let's hit a little bit of this on the roof of the mouth, just a little. Look back in there, I want you to know that something's going on. But you don't have to see what's going on because it's back in a mouth. All right. We let that dry, and we're going to move on to painting him. Let's start hitting some stuff on his teeth. Let's mix up a tooth color. Tooth color. I'll just do it right over here. White. A bit of yellow. Not a lot. And I got brown in here. I'm going to put a little bit of brown on my brush. And that's going in that tooth too. But not a lot, just a little. I can try and show you, but I don't think you'll necessarily be able to see. It's just, I made it pink, you know. It's a little bit pink in there now. That's all. Okay, so he shouldn't have a hand coming out of his mouth. I guess that is a part in the movie. That's possible. Right now, Boris is chewing on a water bottle, and Cheney wants it. So he's whining and barking at Boris to get him to give him the bottle. Because Cheney is a whiner. And you just hit him in the head. Jerk. Cheney, you're a jerk. You're not being very nice. You're not good at sharing. You're not. Okay, let's get back to work. Although, looking at my dogs is really appropriate for this particular project. Thanks, Jigsaw. We're kind of making it look like a dog monster. I have what I feel is a pretty good tooth color over here. I want to paint the teeth that are furthest back first. And they're just getting like a little dry brush. I don't want to get this on the gums that I just painted pink. The delicate balance. But I will also, I'll hit that brown wax on these too. I love that brown wax now for teeth. I don't know yet. 1980. That's gonna such a small detail. We'll see. We'll see. And I think black would be pretty hardcore for it. In all honesty, if I do that, I would do like a gray and bring it up. I also have a thing about closets. I'm not cold, but this hat is a light. So I'm going to use it to shine up in the mouth. Top fang. Top fang. Let's hit some of these teeth back here. Up in here. Y'all gonna make me paint my dog up in here. Up in here. Yeah. We had one show at dark hour. We had 3 different closets. I just think putting people... It's a great transition room. Like if you leave a bedroom or something, then you go into a closet and come out somewhere else. I like it as a transition room. So it just happened that we had 3 different closets in the show that year. There are very different flavors of closet, but they were all closets. He will probably have a good deal of slobber. There will be a lot of blood. We're just not at that stage yet. Okay, so now you can kind of see in there a little more of what I did. Yeah. Okay, I don't necessarily like how white this fur is. Jigsaw, we got big shirts, okay? So, yeah, the 3X is a true 3X. No, I bet I can't, because it's going to look a lot like a dog. How we roll, Cat Swift. How we roll. What are some of the craziest Karen stories? Well, every night someone demands we stop the show so they can get the cell phone that they lost, that we told them to keep put away anyhow. Either one is fine for makeup. Either one. Masato, I don't. None of my T-shirts come from Wish, so I don't want to confuse anyone thinking that. The T-shirts that we sell on the Stiltby Studios website are ones that we have in-house printed, and then there's Teespring, and their sizes run pretty true also. Okay. I want to get a cream color, kinda, and I want to use that cream color down here to calm this down. And on hair, I do like me some spray paint. I just gotta find me a good cream color. That's right, we did have a toilet that blew up on folks. Because we're classy. Okay, so this is a terracotta color. Hello, buddy. This is a terracotta color, and I'm just going to use it with just the tiniest hint of mist. I want to pull that stark white off of it, and I think that's working. It is just getting the barest hint of paint. I just want to keep it from being like platinum white, you know? All right, so that's that. I also have to test to see if my treatment for the fabric is going to, for the hair, is going to mess with the ink. You know what, just to make sure, let's go ahead and seal the paint job that I have on here now. And I'll seal that with a poly spray. Yeah, you gotta just let it fall where it's supposed to go. I used to, when I did a lot of haunt sets, and I still do haunt sets on occasion, but I would dust things with spray paint. Meaning, I'm just spraying the gray spray paint up in the air, and I'm letting it dry in the air, and then it lands on stuff like dust. It's a good technique if you want something to look old, dusty, and dry. I'm very serious about my spray painting because it's so easy to go heavy. I think Justin has seen me go off on someone once who was spray painting too heavy. And I get very animated, like, no, 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 stop, 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 you know, and I scared him. It was actually Robert Alcala, I think. Justin, do you recall that at all? Does the poly seal cover the paint smell? Well, the paint smell is only for a little bit. The paint smell doesn't last forever. Yeah, you might have just been going a little heavy with the spray paint. It's this bottle. It's just a little bit. I used it yesterday. Oh, way better. This is an acrylic sealer. This is the Liquitex clear gloss medium. Doesn't matter that it's gloss. Boom, diggity, you will not hear any about that here. Yes. And if this were to bleed a little bit, if the brown bleeds, I just go back in and I fix it, you know? We're going layers and layers and layers of paint. I'll gloss the mouth later, but I think that's going to be taken care of by a lot of the just goop I'm putting on there. Hey, Justin Rudy. What's up, man? Hello, Spook Shack. Have a good night. Okay. So that is on there. Let that sealer dry a little bit. And I feel like we're on the path of distressing. We're going to start distressing this doggo. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to put blood on him. I got to switch out my references again. Yes, Rob's deer skull did get made into a mask. Rob did this. It's right here. This is Rob's work. I didn't do a thing on it. He did all of it by himself. Like a grown-up. Yeah, blood and snot. Awesome. Har Beauty, that's all one sculpture. That skull is just, that's sculpted. So that's just one latex mask. Okay, like that. So Larry, I'm going to ask you, Larry, do you want the black lines down the head like this has? See this? This has, these markings are so different because this is black and that goes down. So let me know if you want that. Honestly, I think it'll look good, but it's not 100% necessary. It is a hard choice. I would probably do it. I was going to do a little more black shaping anyway, around the eyes for sure, to make the eyes a little sadder. And like, see this point back here behind the eye? I was going to hit that. And Larry, I'm going to need more words. You said it's a hard choice, you. Is that a hard choice? You make it? If you say you make it, I'm just going to go for it. It does. It makes the muzzle pop a little more. Good night, Jerry Collins. Well, see, now the other picture that I have of Cojo, it's a significant amount of blood. Like, there's blood all up here, but you don't see a lot of it. You don't necessarily see a lot of it until, because it's in that brown. It's in the brown, but all this is blood. So I do think, you know. Okay, then I'm going to go and I'm going to add that black in. Let's get that image. My dog Cheney is adding the sound effects that you need. Okay, there we go. All right. Now I have brown in the airbrush right now. But I don't have a lot of it. I think I just add a little bit more black right on top of it. Yeah. Cheney could be Cojo for Halloween. Okay, so the first one that we're going to do is this side probably, because I am right-handed. And it's going to come here. And that's going to go down. And then follow this back. Widen it up a little bit. I love big dogs, you know. I'm afraid of pets that if I step on them at night by accident, I'll kill them. Like, I'm not a fan of that kind of pet. Yeah, that feels pretty good. I like that. Same thing over here on the other side. Get that point in behind the eye. Yeah, dogs are often discolored by weeping eyes, so I mean that's common. But actually, it's a stripe, and some Saint Bernards have that black. And this guy is here. And out to a point, and then here. Slightest bit of shading to give that muzzle a little bit more strength. Okay, I'm going to step back and I'm going to look at what I just did. Okay, I like it. That feels pretty good to me. And it doesn't seem like it. It seems like we're really working on this guy, but we're in the home stretch here. I mean, we're on the portion that we're on right now is, you know, detail. It's the gore and the snot. 1980. Yeah, you guys can see it head on. This side. Boy, the snout looks really short in this for some reason, but it's not. Looks a little longer from this angle, oddly. But yeah, this is El Cojo. So, 1980, based upon your recommendation, I'm going to my Pinterest folder and looking for some Cojo references that have dots on the muzzle. Because I don't see any, there's none on this head. Kill this. I don't see any black dots in here either. Now I'm straight on, so I don't see a lot of the side of the muzzle. But I can pop into my Pinterest. What's the coolest mask I ever did, Jigsaw? You know what? It's actually not a very complicated mask. A mask that struck me when I finished it was I did a mask out of spray foam on top of an EVA foam helmet, and it looked like a big brain. And I was so happy with how it came out because it was such simple materials. It did well. But I'm going to pop into my Pinterest. I went right to the Cojo board. So this is one of the dogs. I don't see any black spots, but I do see like a black streak right here. See, this one has this black streak right here, but boy, this guy is more jowly than any of the other references, but his mouth is also closed. Okay, so let's go back. Now, I don't think I have a shot of him laying on the floor. I don't see any here, but this does have the black streak, so I like that. I'm glad we did that. There's probably a better picture of that. Yeah, no, I mean, he's so dirty in this shot. And this is probably what I want to go for as a level of distress. I know that seems really heavy. It is really heavy. But I want, you know, Cojo, man. That's what I think of when I see Cojo. He's going to get, I'm going to throw the kitchen sink at him. So you're saying before Cojo was turned, rabbit, he had some spots. Cojo laying on floor. That's just laying down floor. Cojo. Stephen King. I know it's weird, you guys just watching me surf the internet, but I'm looking for reference right now to make sure that this paint job is kind of, you know, right on par. $19.80, I got your spots. They're right here. Right here is some spotting along the muzzle. It'll be a little bit lost. I found one. I found a picture. Yeah, so it's coming off of that black area of the muzzle. It's almost like predator spots almost. So I'll hit a few of those. Dan, those aren't animatronics in the purest sense. They're consumer grade. You're not going to get something that's amazing from Spirit, but it's neat and it'll probably work, you know, a full season or two. Whoa, you guys are zoomed in. Okay. And so I will build these dots and spots off of this. Yeah, well, I wasn't worried about the white being broken up simply because it's going to be broken up by all the gore, snot, and yuck I'm going to put on it. But I can't get to this dog because of this dog, who does not want to let me... thank you, bud. Can I get in there? There we go. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think I've got what I need now to get it. And this is something that is going to be sitting on a wall. You know, this isn't something that's going to be on an actor running around in the dark or whatever. So, yeah, it needs a little more. He does want to model for me, and I think he'd be a fine model. I'll bring this one out a little bit more. Just so that black line is not a straight line, it's a little more broken up. And then so they're not so stark, I gave that a little bit of a mist. And we'll do kind of the same thing on the other side. I'm not gonna like recreate that exactly, but we'll do a similar deal. I am willing to listen to y'all, you know. There's some times where I'm going to say, hey, you're wrong. I don't agree with you. But other times it's like, you know what? Hey, you're right. Let's try it. I think that everybody here is interested in having the best possible output of art. Hi, everybody. Hello, 107 people. Cats. You know what, Celeste? Do not suggest to my wife that I get another kitten, even in jest. Because my wife, any excuse to get a new cat. Like, she has a problem. So, yeah. All right, so here we go. And you know, 1980, I'm not normally about realism. Normally, I'm about making that quick impression. It's about silhouette, and it's about big blocks of color. But this, you're right. This is a piece that is going to be on a wall in a better lit area. So thank you for pushing me on that. I appreciate it. There will be times when I say, hey man, knock it off. But in this case, no. Yeah, I think you did good, yo. All right, looking at some of those other references, I am going to hit it with this terracotta a little bit to bring this white down even further. Because nothing was white on that dog, like, at all. And just having this in here in the mix, I think is going to be better. No more kitties. What? Oh, wife? Okay, yeah, I mean, I'm liking where this is going. I'm pretty happy with this. I'm going to now paint the teeth again because with teeth, I'm painting the white teeth over black. Now I have, you know, it's a tooth coloring stuff. This is not straight white at all. But when you're painting over black, you lose a lot of your color. So I have to hit these teeth again. I'm just kind of bouncing around to what I can work on because when this is, you know, as the fur is wet, that has to dry. And then I can work on teeth. Yeah, these are popping a lot more. And often I don't even like to paint the backs of the teeth. I want there to be that little bit of black there that your eye catches. And normally a big sin, and still here too, is to paint white in between the teeth. No, I want that black line there. But a little more forgiving on this project. And I'm having to lift up the face in order to paint these teeth. So I don't think that's going to be seen really, but why not do it? Okay. The blood will probably be applied in a number of ways. The blood will be applied in a number of ways. Okay, so we pulled this color down, and I think I want to mix up some gunk to put on this. This is going to be kind of a wet and a nasty, but let's seal it a little bit more too, because I've added black now, and I don't want that black to bleed into the other. Now, honestly, it won't really matter if the black bleeds onto the other, simply because it's all sort of a blended mess, and a lot of it anyway. Because my guess is that's sort of what happened on set. Sometimes if you're having trouble with this type of airbrush, this stuff, it's a sealer, so this actually cures up pretty hard. What you can do is take the airbrush itself and shoot down this nozzle. See how I'm getting that airflow clear? A little hole right there. Hitting that too. Sometimes that is the best and easiest way to clear this airbrush. Let's see how we did. Poorly. That didn't work. So we'll try again. This time I'll use a pin. Yes, it will have some glue blood. I'll probably have a mix of blood on it, in all honesty. We'll see about that little bit of pink, because I'm not seeing it on my reference. Like, it's pretty black around the eye. So we'll see. I don't know yet. That's a detail. That would be one of the last things. So, and I just haven't hit that place in the art. Now we're spraying. Sealing all of this in, because I don't want this to bleed and run too much. I want to keep those blocks of color kind of in the same. All right, it's time for a snotty mix, and that will be fun. Let's pull up some of those real distressed references. Be right back. Excuse me, doggos. Hold me close, a tiny doggo. You ain't tiny, doggo. Okay. Yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, so I think the first thing that I want to mix up is just a general thick glaze on him. And I have a material that I want to use called Snakeskin, which is it's a 1-part urethane. And I use it as a paint sometimes. And I think we'll just shoot a little bit of red in that to kind of pink it up. That snakeskin is over here. So 1-part urethane. And we're going to use a good bit of it. Celeste, I'm sorry that I am keeping you awake and disturbing your household. Now this is a urethane, so I'm going to try and put a little bit of this red ink in here. And let's go sangria more than like chili pepper red. And only just a little. Two, okay. I just put 2 drips in there of that. So that's going to be mostly clear. I'm going to grab a big brush and put it on. And by big brush, I mean 1-inch chip brush. Dan, it's coming, sir. It's coming. Well, I'm glad that you're studying. Thanks, 1980. I think it looks as good as the puppet head did in the movie. As good as that puppet head looked. I think we're getting there. Okay, so here's something interesting. The ink solidified as soon as it hit the top. So I just have this like skin of ink, which is very interesting. You should know I'm going to put that on the dog. Like a nice blood clot, you know, that's wonderful. Now that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to tint this a little bit, and I didn't really do that. So we'll use something else. You know what? Actually, I think we do have a bit of a tint on here. Yeah, we have a tint. I have just a hair bit of a tint. It's a little bit pink. But what I mostly want this for is to make him look glazed and stuff. Well, I haven't seen his yet, and he's talked to me a couple times about the Cojo. I actually gave him some references for fur and stuff on it. So, and I want this to go on like haphazard. But what I don't want it to do is bleed out the inks, you know what I mean? I want to keep my blocks of color. This is, I'm reminded of the rats in the movie Ben, I think it was. where they actually had to cover them in grape juice to make them look nasty and gnarly. You know, whatever it takes. But yeah, this is a little bit of just the snot and stuff all over him is wonderful. And I'm going to go ahead and paint this around the eye. This also works as a nice glossing agent. But I'm still able to paint. I know we have some pink to put in there too later on. I wanted to make sure I had enough of this. I don't want to underdo this part. This, I assure you, is a big part of Cojo. Just looking this nasty and gross and sloppy. And this is a single, it's a one-part urethane is what this is. It's called Snakeskin. It's by a company called Douglas and Sturgis. And I really like this. When I did my big urethane snakes a while ago, I actually painted them with this. Okay, 1980. I think you can make an EVA yellow door that would look good with that if you make another one. Oh, yeah, a car door, yes. I probably could. But shipping a car door would be a nightmare. A different kind of nightmare. Not the fun kind. And just the amount of slop on him is important. I don't want it to soak in. I want it to have this nasty quality. And we're going to use more. We're going to use more. I think that actually helped his realism quite a bit. He's a little drippy. Dan, I do not. Soon I'm going to do a video on pimping up those teeth because I love those teeth, but often I actually hit them with the airbrush and with alcohol inks. Wait till the blood gets all over it, 1980. Wait for the blood. Let me jump in front of you. That'll be fun. That's a good thing to do. Yeah, the grungy mattedness is really what we're looking for. So now I'm going to hit this with red, but I'm going to have to use a different type of red because obviously that alcohol-based ink did not do well. This is a little bit of oil paint in here. Yep. Oil paint is doing, I'm getting some flecks of color. But you know what I tinted this with? I tinted this with quality acrylics. That's what I tinted this with. Okay, so what I have done here is I have mixed up a quality slop. Okay, it's like a brownish, and this color I think is going to give me a lot of what I see on this. I have to be very careful what I sell because Texas really comes down hard on practicing dentistry without a license. Like Dan McCorson, I'm going to try this colored slop up here and see. Oh, yeah. Okay, see, I like that. That's doing good stuff. Same material. Right now it's only been in the brown. But it's about to come on to the here. And why I sealed it is that this isn't hitting that ink and just making it just go, you know. I don't know if you've ever seen anything that just makes an ink just dissolve out. Enjoy your day tomorrow, Dan. Make stuff scary for me. Now this urethane, I'm going to have to let it dry because I want to do the blood on top, and I don't know how they're going to mix or what kind of a reaction that I'll get. But for funsies, let's throw a little bit of blood in here already. See what happens. Okay. I don't see anything terrible happening. It's actually doing nice. I like the look of that. That's a good blood. Double check our references. Yes, there was a bald Allen in the background. Okay, here comes the blood. Looking at this one particular reference, you see the blood right here between the eyes. Now, see, the blood is either thinning out or it's soaking in, and I don't like that. So I think I'm going to have to let this dry a little more. But all this is bloody up in here. I think that this has to dry before I can really blood the snot out of this like I want. Okay, thick enough. I just put this on like a beast. Hello, Steel Vico. And I'm 100% looking at reference while I do this to make sure that I'm doing the big blood patches where they're supposed to go, all that. But I think I have reached a stopping point for the night because this has to dry, and it's just going to take too long in this wet weather. So this has to dry up. But here's where we are right now. That's looking more and more like Cojo, isn't it? And so it looks like tomorrow I will be finishing this up. I have to let this dry in order for this technique to work. It's about layers. On an average September day in Texas, this would dry in about 20 minutes, but I think today, where we're at, I think it's going to take a long time. So, Joanne, I'm sorry you just got back. But, I mean, I like where he's going. I think he's looking like Cojo now. There's one thing that I want to do. And this is just for me. This is not from the reference. I want to put just some shading separation between the ear and the head. And I want to do that just so visually you can kind of see where the ear starts and stops and all that. Yes, I'll find somebody with a yellow car and take a picture of it through the window like I'm inside. I think that's a great idea. A little bit of just general darkening. Yeah, see now the ears, they read as their own thing. It's like, oh, that's an ear. Okay, that's an ear. This side, I think, could be a little more. All right, gang. I think that's it for the night. This is how I decided to spend my night off. My wife will be home in an hour. That's awesome. Yes. So this actually is sold. This goes to Larry Hughes, who is watching. He was kind of overseeing the build of his Cojo, which, by the way, I mean, he doesn't look that big right there, but this is a massive head. I have a large head for a human. This was originally a bear sculpt, but I think it's going to work. Anyway, everybody, thank you for hanging out. 91 people watching to the end. You guys are awesome. Have a great night. It's Thursday, so tomorrow's Friday. Enjoy. And as always that I say at the end, go make stuff.